Hello everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at yet another vlog. So, where are we going to go? Well, we're going to be taking a look at the old church where I made the first videos on this channel, the exit sign and the preheat fluorescent lights. They're all still there, except for the ones in the kitchen. Those were converted to some 4-bulb fluorescent fixtures, nothing too amazing there. So, sad that those are gone, but all the other things are still there and working to this very day, so I was really happy to see that. There's probably going to be a little bit of travel because I did have to travel back home for this, of course. And yes, there is some extra videos. I have some restore and thrift store videos that I forgot to add into some of the other vlogs, unless they were already there and I just don't remember doing them. I don't know. They'll be in here. But, of course, as always, we'll share some of the new things that I've found and whatever else I see around here that is worthy of sharing with all of you. So, let's go ahead and get started. So here we are at the Restore in Everett. This is a really old clip, like many months ago. But anyway, this is a 125 watt mercury vapor fixture. These came in 100 and 125 watt versions, the 125 watt version being this with a bigger refractor on it, and the 100 watt version having a smaller one, more appropriate for the size of fixture. Really interesting. I've seen them before in the wild, but it was neat to see one in person. Here we are at a thrift store in, I believe it was Shoreline, and some exit sign here. I'm not sure if it was incandescent, but it definitely had the battery pack up top for it to work in a power outage. And we have some standard incandescent bulbs and things to that nature just sitting around. Here's some halogen Phillips bulbs. They use the same style of enclosure as the incandescent like T-shaped bulbs back in the day, but in halogen version. And here's some older Phillips bulbs. They're not the T-shaped ones like we were just talking about. Here's a Lights of America 300 watt halogen fixture. I had one of those. Maybe I still do. I'm not too sure. But the enclosure is aluminum and the surround for the glass is plastic. Really weird. Being around Christmas time, I thought this was an interesting light set. Don't really pick these up because I don't have much of my collection here with me for these smaller sets, but neat to find. So here we are at another thrift store. Looks like some type of apartment complex must have been converting to LED or something because, well, they had all kinds of 13 watt PL outdoor fixtures here. Pretty standard affair at all the apartments around here that I see anyway. So, neat to find, but I have no use for any of them. I don't remember if they were all plastic or metal. Of course, the higher quality ones are metal, but I think these were plastic. And there was all kinds of different box versions here, so they probably had them over the years. At the same thrift store, we have some C9 Christmas lights, just some generic brands here. They were all over the place, so I didn't pick them up. I don't really have a use for C9 lights. I have a use for C7 because I have a lot of spare bulbs for them. But other than that, I just left them there. They weren't exactly in the best of condition. And here we are at the second use place again. This is an interesting fixture. It is for like highways, overpasses, underpasses, parking underneath highways. That's usually where I see these anyway. Really cool. Didn't pick it up. It wasn't something I really have a use for. But the next time I went, it was gone. So I checked, and it looks like somebody on the lighting sites picked it up locally. So I'm really glad that it went to a collector because it's a really neat fixture in great condition. These are interesting. They use a F13 T8 bulb. I have some of those in my collection, but not out here with me. So there they sit on the shelf. Pretty neat, though. Always got to check out the bulbs, and there's some of those really cool CFL tangled up things. I think Target sold those for a while or something to that nature. Anyway, this halogen flood bulb is pretty unique because I had one of those. Well, I still do. It was a 60 watt version though. And here's a 45 watt one. I think I have a 60 watt one I picked up there a long time ago. Those little halogens are pretty neat. Of course, they get incredibly hot, and LEDs kind of took over that space. Here we are at a Restore, the local one here, and there's, well, bulbs upon bulbs as usual. I don't think I found anything this day. It's always changing though, so it's always worth a peek and seeing what has come. I don't know if all these come from a lighting store or what, but there's just tons of stuff. Here we are at one of my favorite restores. There's always something different to see here, whether it be fixtures or bulbs. But this time they had all kinds of really old vintage bulbs. I don't know if somebody used them for photography or what, but there's just tons of them, about like 150. What is this one? 100 watt. I don't know. Can't really read it from this far away while editing. But really nice, new old stock stuff. I mean, look at the size of those Sylvanias. That's pretty cool. Look at that filament structure. Just really nice construction, high quality. You just don't see that anymore. Again, not too sure what he's used for. Maybe it was stage lighting, photography. I don't know. But it's always changing. And there's all kinds of other random odds and ends here. So it's always interesting to take a look. Here's some older amber colored par bulbs. Neat old vintage things, more of the Sylvanias up here on the top. Sometimes you can find foreign bulbs at this place too. Here we have some old fluorescents, which I actually picked up. I don't know if, again, I don't remember if I showed these in another clip, but I did decide to pick up those fluorescent bulbs because they were really nice old vintage ones that I can definitely use in the fixtures that I have. And here's some more. I mean, look at all these beautiful incandescent bulbs, high quality. You just don't see that anymore, especially with LEDs taking over just about everything, really. This is actually quite funny. Here's some computers at a Value Village. I think the prices on these are absolutely outrageous. I mean, they're incredibly old and they want like $90 for this thing. Forget it. People have like opened it up and torn things out of it. The people at this Value Village, the customers and staff clearly don't know or care or anything about any of these. It was just interesting to see them and at least share them with you here. Much more recently here, went back to the second use place, and as you can tell, that big fixture was gone, like I said in the previous clip, but this little fixture was still here. Not really too interested in it, it's quite modern. However, there's something new next to it. It's this plastic, yes, it's entirely plastic, but I believe it's made by Electropack. Yep, well, there it says it right there. It's a 70-watt high-pressure sodium area light. Really cool because I used to have one of these that was made by Regent. Now, the Regent version had the socket directly in the center instead of at an angle like that, but I don't have the Regent version anymore. I took it apart because I wanted the ballast out of it a long time ago, so I wanted to pick this up to add it back to the collection because it's just so unique and it means something to me. So here we are at the Big Goodwill in Seattle. This one is miss most of the time. You rarely find anything neat here. The coolest thing I've ever found here is the iMac G5. But anyway, interestingly, as you saw in this package, they wanted $1 for this at the University Surplus store, and now Goodwill wants $12 for it because, totally. Anyway, I didn't pick it up because I thought that was pretty dumb. These are pretty neat old bulbs, though. They have a very nice high quality etch on them. They're soft white instead of warm white. I don't know how much of a color temperature change that really is, but the etch is in great shape, so pretty cool. So let's finally take a look at some of the old lighting in the church here that I used to go to when I was a child. Pretty neat stuff. Here's a fixture that I haven't shown before, and you will see some others as well. So let's take a look. It's still here, and it still works. How cool is that? Well, after 10 years, here they are. They still exist. Not super blink happy. Looks like a couple need a little TLC, or at least some bulb replacement. Oh, just gotta give it a minute. Awesome. You can hear them ping. How cool is that? So here's the things I've picked up recently. The 70 watt high pressure sodium electropack fixture. There'll definitely be a video of this coming in the future here. That must be the date code, April 24th of 1991. So it's older than I am. Got a bulb in it there. And here's the refractor. It did have a crack in it. I saw that at the store. I wasn't too happy about that, but oh well. The one that I originally had a crack in it too, so how fitting, I guess. It has the extra wire here. This doesn't get hooked up to anything. It's actually, if the fixture falls, this is connected to the ballast so it doesn't break and rip apart. At least that's, if I remember correctly, that's what it's for. So very cool. It's brand new, never used. Be a fun little project. It has the unique photo cell on it there, that really big boxy one. Anyway, we have these small bulbs here, these F4T5 fluorescents. That one's daylight. That one's also daylight. Here's a brand new GE. It is cool white, but I got these with this little fixture right here. This is a lampy 4-watt fluorescent fixture. It is electronically ballasted, or maybe it's magnetically ballasted. Anyway, it does make the hum of a typical magnetically ballasted fixture, but it's mostly electronic inside. So we're just going to call it electronic. It did have some type of a lampy sticker on it at one point, but I think whoever had it took it off, because it does have the original bulb there. Sorry it's upside down. There'll be a separate video made of this thing here in the future. But I suppose we'll turn it on for you here real quick. Very cool. I love these little fixtures. These are incredibly hard to find, so it was really neat to find and pick that up. It was actually inside of some type of a illumination box for art or something, maybe. I'm not sure what it was for, but I had to buy the whole box just to get that and the bulbs that were inside of it. But it was worth it just to get this fixture and its spare bulbs. Now that I think of it, there's this little hole here, and I'm pretty sure that's what the other end of this steel wire is attached to, unless it's attached to other things too. Not too sure, but it's a safety measure, I do know that much. Cool stuff. So here we are leaving Minneapolis, heading back to Seattle, and it was snowing, so there was all kinds of delays and whatnot. Anyway, we sat here forever. This is sped up about 8 times just to make it go faster. And we eventually went over to the area where they do de-icing, which you'll see here shortly. But anyway, we ended up sitting, just waiting to take off after being de-iced for like an hour or more. It was ridiculous. But it all went fine, and we got up in the air and got back to Seattle. But anyway, here we are just waiting to take off. As always, I really do hope you enjoyed this vlog. I enjoy making these for all of you and just sharing my life with all of you in general. So thank you so much for watching. Also, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching.